When Talia sobbed in a dressing room for the first time, it wasn't because of the mirror, the lighting, or even the clothes. It was because of a size tag. I held her hand and assured her that the price tag didn't shout at her, that it was only that tiny, stitched-in number. I meant it then, and I meant it every time since. Define her so that the number could never measure what she was made of. I made a promise that day, a self-promise, to never allow her to feel inferior by life or by size. Not with me, and I never broke that pledge, not once. Not in the 5 years that I was fully, completely committed. I spent Saturday evenings measuring quinoa and slicing vegetables after she mentioned trying meal planning. I stood behind her through her first workout, barely managing to jog 2 minutes without catching her breath. I jogged beside her, never laughing, never teasing, just saying, "You got this," slowly and steadily, each time her knees threatened to give out. When she lost her first 10 pounds, I kept it quiet, because she wanted to avoid the scale, afraid the number would upset her. When she lost 30, I brought her flowers. I framed a photo of her smiling. I wasn't just encouraging, I was involved. She used to call me her partner, and it made me grin every time, because it felt like we were building something. Something with love. Something that mattered. I carried her fears as if they were mine. I even signed up for a course on insulin resistance and macro balancing. I subscribed to fitness newsletters just so I could talk about what she was learning, on her terms, in her language. I was always learning, always adjusting, always saying yes. But eventually, it started to feel like she wasn't turning to face me anymore. Like I was shouting encouragement from behind, but she was drifting farther and farther away. I realized it the day she flexed her arms in the mirror and smiled, not bashfully, but proudly. And for a moment, I wasn't in the reflection, and I was thankful, because she looked fierce, because she looked proud. I told myself it was just a phase of growth, that maybe I was being too sensitive. But then, other signs appeared. She stopped, including me in her progress selfies, said they were just for her album. But her entire Instagram audience saw every step of her journey, except the man holding the camera, the man cheering her on from behind. Then I saw a post. We disappeared. That was me. And yeah, it hurt. How do you explain that you never expected to become invisible after investing your entire heart? Still, I kept saying yes. Could I help meal prep and skip game night? Yes. Could we postpone the trip? Yes, I get it. You're trying to stick to the plan. Could she record training videos in the guest room? Of course. Every yes was a brick, because I thought we were building something permanent. But the stronger she became in body and mind, the weaker our connection felt. She stopped holding my hand in public, came home later, started giving my posts a quick thumbs up instead of a reply, and she stopped laughing, at least with me. She used to snort at my dumb jokes, asked me to tell them again. Now she didn't ask about my day, just nodded when I talked. I became the guy who kept her fridge stocked, maybe a teammate, but no longer a partner, no longer a lover. I kept telling myself it was just a season. Her focus was temporary, but as the seasons changed, it just got colder. One evening, I found her on the patio, phone glowing in her face. She looked radiant. She had worked so hard, I asked, "You good?" She smiled but didn't turn to look at me. There was distance in her eyes. She said, "I'm always thinking now." But she never shared those thoughts anymore. That night, lying beside her, I realized love shouldn't feel like a treadmill, set to max incline, and I was the only one trying to keep up. I gave her 5 years, 5 years of unwavering yes. But eventually, I started wondering if all those yeses had cost me the one thing I never imagined losing: myself. And when your yes becomes her no, her exit ramp, you watch, you wait, you hurt, but you don't break. Not yet. It started with kale chips. I came home one evening and the smell of olive oil and garlic was in the air. Talia was tossing something green and crispy into a bowl, grinning like she'd unlocked the secrets of the universe. "Try one," she said. I bit into it, salty, earthy, and tried not to grimace. "Not bad," I lied. She rolled her eyes playfully, kissed me on the cheek, the only kiss I got that week. And the food wasn't the only thing that changed. Her tone changed. Her cadence, her silence. Avocado toast, green smoothies, meal prep became performance. Each plate captured in 3 angles posted with hashtags. New me or glow up journey and the one that hurt the most. She doesn't chase, she attracts. Her captions started sounding rehearsed, polished, not raw, not real, not us. I began fading from the frame, replaced by slick captions, tighter clothes, bolder lips. I told her she looked stunning in a backless dress. She didn't reply, just took a photo near the window. Later I saw the post. A pout, a lyric caption. No mention of me. She laughed at her phone during dinner, never at me. Her hand in mine felt like a formality. She used to binge shows with me. Now she curled on the couch, earbuds in. The warmth between us had cooled into something sterile, something rehearsed. One night, I walked in and saw her on video chat. She jumped, locked her screen. I asked, "Who was that?" She paused, then said, "Arlo, he's a dietitian from the program." And then softly, "We just talk sometimes." That night I couldn't sleep. I laid there, staring at the ceiling, the glow of her phone still beside me. In the morning, I Googled, Arlo, tall, goatee, fitness coach. That's what being replaced feels like. Shirtless videos, fire emojis, admiration and attention. And now, my wife's laughter. I tried to stay calm, tried to trust, but trust feels like betrayal when your instincts scream otherwise. Then it happened. Saturday, cleaning the house. I found her sitting on the guest room bed, phone in hand. I sat beside her. "Talia, are we okay?" She looked at me like I'd asked a math question mid-movie. "Why wouldn't we be?" she said, fingers paused over the screen. "You don't talk to me anymore. You don't even say goodnight some days." She stood up, started folding clothes. "I'm just focused, Malik. Always have been." "It feels like you've